Okay, awesome. All right, here's some questions that were submitted to us. If you have a listing that has been damaged by the owner and is now a foreclosure or a short sale, the damage is beyond what a lender would allow to close on financing, is there a loan that could help the buyer buy the home and fix the repairs after closing? Who'd like to take that one? Shelley?
FHA offers the 203K rehabilitation loan for owner occupants. It's available for any home that needs any kind of additions added to it after closing. So you can buy any as-is property and take the sales price and the cost of repairs and add the two together and come up with an acquisition price. And as long as your value is there, then we can work it through the FHA program up to the maximum loan limit for Santa Rosa and Escambia County is $271,050.
You can also look at if the home is listed on Home Path, it's Fannie Mae foreclosure, and it needs some renovation. There is a program you can do for a Home Path renovation loan, and you can get money for repairs up to $35,000.
Also, there's conventional financing. There's a construction renovation loan. So you can do that the same, basically the same as FHA, and you close the loan and then do the work and inspections. So that's under conventional financing. It's called construction renovation loan. Is it 20%? It depends on the lender, but the maximum would be 20% down.
Questions? No questions. Okay, Donna?
How long does it take to close one of those loans?
Forever.
I would write a contract no less than 45 days, but truthfully, I would give 60 days. There's a lot of paperwork involved. Credit package is standard of any FHA or conventional product, but when it comes to putting the total construction product together, there's a lot of entities involved. As we know, when we do a transaction, you've got a listing, a selling, you have the survey, you have termite, you have your lender. But now you've got a contractor, and with FHA, you're going to typically have a fee consultant, and you've just got a lot of people that are involved that have the time factors, and they don't always fit in the puzzle. So you need to give yourself the most time you can. So I tell any of my agents 45 to 60 days.
Question? Claire?
Going back to the loan to fix up the house, how do you get somebody to get a loan on a house that's got a lot of wood rot that they could repair and it would be a good house? Would you still be able to do that conventional loan with the repair?
Yes, I mean, the main thing is that you just have to get a bid as to who's going to be doing the work, and then just add it to the price of the house.
So the wood rot wouldn't prevent it from selling and getting a loan?
No, because you're going to be repairing it. You're going to be taking care of that.
Linda?
We all have those kind of properties that need repair, and some can't do it, the buyer doesn't want to do it, doesn't know how to do it. One of the things I found out is that the buyer cannot do those repairs. It has to be a licensed contractor, correct? Correct. So we got a lot of fixer-upper people out there that think they can buy and get that loan, and then they can do the work that they can't do as a license.
So that's what's not.
As far as, it doesn't have to be a licensed contractor. Okay, it can be a handyman. It's got to be just somebody that does that for a living.
Not for FHA.
Loan I did for a gentleman, you talked about the wood rot, the whole subflooring of the house had to be replaced. So they had to basically go in, strip the whole flooring out, and it's a off-grade house over in East Hill, one of the, built in the 30s type thing, and it had two big beams down the middle, and one of them was obviously bad. So he had to take the whole flooring out and replace that. And the guy that did it was just a handyman. It was like Bill's handyman or whatever his name was, but it does not have to be. It does not have to be a general contractor, but it cannot be the customer who's doing the work. We don't want to know about it if the customer's doing the work.
Was that an FHA loan?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I tried to do an FHA 203K with a different company that's not represented up here, and they said it had to be a licensed general contractor, and they would not accept anyone else other than that. I had a home remodeling contractor who actually had a license, but he wasn't a general contractor, and they couldn't use him.
No, this gentleman, like I said,
and it was stuff like wood rot and paint and you know,
I think that varies depending on the lender.
Yeah.
It
Really?
It depends on the lender.
Okay.
I know, that's from $5,000 to $35,000 in repair, and the, from $5,000 to $35,000. And like at Synovus, we'll do anything except for pools and landscaping. Again, that's just with Synovus. So again, there may be depends on, whoever, everybody does not do 203Ks. So, so that's the first thing you gotta find out. And when you write up a contract, that contract needs to state that it's gonna be a 203K.
Hey, y'all make sure you, make sure you use the mics. I'm turning mine off in between, but make sure you use the mic so they can hear.
Okay.
Other questions? Yes, Terry?
How much time do you have to get after you go through the loan process? How much time do you have after the loan?
Oh, that's a good question. It's 30 days. I mean, if you've got just like a $5,000 repair with Synovus, it's 30 days. But if you're gonna be doing, over 5,000, up to the 35,000, we give you 4 months. So it ranges from 30 days to 4 months with Synovus. Shirley?
Can the panel also repeat the question before you answer it? Because I know people on the ends cannot hear the question either.
I'm sorry. She was asking when it comes to the time period you have when it comes to repairs.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can hear.
Shelley?
The FHA 203K allows you to do 6 months. So in every deal that I do from $5,000 to $30,000 or $40,000, we allow them 6. We don't want them to take 6 months. It all depends on what's done. We have to have work being done every 30 days. We very closely monitor it with inspections and stuff, so it costs some money. But if you've got a major deal, then you do have 6 months to do it. Or if we run into some great weather, you have 6 months to do it.
The home path renovation, since it's just up to 35,000, it's 90 days on their program. And just to speak back to Linda, Patty's earlier question, home path, you do have to have a licensed contractor to do the work.
Bobby?
Are there additional costs involved with any of these renovation purchase loans?
Are there additional costs involved with the renovation loans?
I would say yes, there are a few additional costs. I know the interest rate on FHA 203K, the rate's usually about 0.25% to 3/8% higher. And then of course you got to have inspection fees, kind of during the construction period. So there's a few fees.
Yeah, on the 203K, you're going to use a consultant that's going to oversee the project, and he's charging fees. We have one, I think, guys from Crestview or somewhere in this area, but yeah, you're going to have a little more fees.
But those fees on the 203K, as far as when it deals with doing the construction, are financeable. You're always asking, I finance the closing costs. No, you can't finance closing costs. But when it comes to the fee consultant, the inspection fees, title updates, there is what's called a supplemental origination fee, and it's determined on the dollar amount borrowed of the cost of construction, not the cost of the home. So if you're borrowing $20,000 for the cost of construction, you might have a $350 to $400. It's a mathematical formula. It's done in the computer, so I'm not going to tell you how to do it. But it's financed, okay? So, but yes, they do have those fees.
Any other questions? Okay. Next question. We have a seller that has had their home on the market for months/years, and now they have found another home they wish to buy. How would the present home payments be counted? Is that you guys? How would the present home payments be counted against the buyer's debt-to-income ratio, or is it possible with all the changes? Who wants to take that?
All right, I'll take that one. We are going to debt the customer for it because it obviously is an open debt. A way to get around it, though, is you can get somebody to rent the house. What we require is a lease, obviously, and they have to have their first month's rent and their security deposit. We can prove that, then we can offset the debt with that. But yes, you're going to have to count it.
On FHA, you're required to have 25% equity to calculate the income.
Speak into the mic, please.
On an FHA loan, you're required to have 75% loan to value on the rental property to use the rental income.
Wow.
unless it's a relocation and you're moving from Virginia to Florida to Pensacola, and then we could use it. But if you are just renting your house in Pace to move to Pensacola, they require 75%.
And I just had this happen, this week. I had a customer that she was, her and her husband were married. They bought a 1,200 square foot house years ago, let's say 1,200 square foot house. And then now they've got 2 children and they've outgrown that house. But, when it comes to qualifying, when it came to having on the present home, she owed what the value was. So she was gonna have to come up, reducing that to 25%, but she didn't have $30,000 to do that. So she's kinda stuck. So that's a real important guideline when it comes to, present homes.
Linda?
So if my seller wants to move out of his house and rent it and buy another one, last year, I had a client want to do that, and we were told that they wanted to see a history of him being a landlord. Like 12 months history.
That's true on a conventional. They want to see a 2-year history of property management if you are using rental income as income.
But if you're trying to move out of your house and it's not sold and you have a tenant, you're not gonna have the history.
So you're not supposed to use that income.
Also,
Linda, could you just repeat kind of that question and answer?
On a conventional loan, for a buyer to use rental income, if it's from their home that they're just vacating or, they're an investor, they have to have a 2-year history of managing property as evidenced by a tax return to be able to use that.